Okay, so library haul, and this time it's pretty damn short. Slim pickings is what I should have said. But the reason for why that is because the ILL lady that usually does them, she was out, and the substitute they got must have been a new person because, well, to be fair, they have a new way of doing the ILLs, like putting them in. Like I think the new lady didn't know that you can do it right at the site. Like I can do it right at the site, not not just the managers, I guess you could say. Maybe that was what it was. I don't know. But whatever the case, everything was coming in slow. I didn't get anything last week. That's why I saw no videos last week, because I do. Actually, no, I go to the library every week, but last week would have been. It would have been just library, because I do comic calls bi-weekly. I was trying to think that. I was like, wait, what? No, I do comic calls bi-weekly, and then library halls every week. And so that was a huge selection. There's a huge amount of books I was returning. So we'll have a good amount of reading recommendations. But 3 of them were like 600 plus page books. So they took up most of that stack. Okay, so the new ones. The last TMNT one. And this is all the short story. So it's official. They just skipped issues. And they must have been either lost. I heard that apparently Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird had like a falling out, so some issues they didn't do TMNT. So maybe it was written by a totally different team. I don't know. I don't know why they went just still include it, because it's not like it's TMNT by Eastman and Laird, the Ultimate Collection. No, it's just TMNT, the Ultimate Collection. No matter what, no matter who wrote it or drew it. This one is the last of the Captain Marvel series, the Kelly Sue DeConnick run. Y'all see my review on that. But this is the Avengers the Enemy Within. She had a crossover with the Avengers because they really needed to boost sales for a damn good reason. And they still got canceled. This one is post Jeff Johns' Aquaman New 52, so I'm not expecting it to be any better than, at all better than Jeff Johns' run. But, time will tell. Oh, and it's the third, I don't think I need to mention that it's Tuesday, not Thursday, so you might get, hopefully we'll get more on Thursday. I just had to return those books today. There was like 50 of them due today, so I didn't want to bother the lady that already had renewed 2 of them a week prior, so I was like, what the hell, I'll go in today. I think for Thursday, I'll just tell whoever can do it to pick them up on the ride home, or get it with someone else. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll be able to go shopping this weekend, so it's all up in the air. Fables, I'm giving there a chance to. I just did not like it. I like the first book. This is the first book. I just want to play catch up. And then this one I just heard about the other day. I think it's actually just today. And that's Black Sad. It looks like a very weird book. The back of the book looks even stranger, but it's like, why the hell not check it out? They probably don't have the covers at all, which really pisses me off. They don't put the covers in. There's a book I'll be talking about like very soon. Like very soon. I don't know why I said it like that. Very soon that I was laid. Uh-oh. Did I have to get my phone? Oh shit, I need that. No, shit. Okay, I'm gonna get some dead air. Let's throw up here. Okay, well, I'm looking everywhere like I expect it to be, like, on my table. I never have had my phone in the history of ever. Alright, I'm gonna get some dead air, because I don't like to edit my videos. Oh, no, right here. Never mind. I knew I brought it up. But yeah, I don't like to edit my... It's not that I don't like to edit my videos, it's that I never have a need to edit my videos. If I get interrupted, I'm just like, the hell with it. I'll just end the video and then do another cut, you know? Part of that is kind of pettiness, that I don't have enough subscribers. Part of it's pettiness, but another part of it, it's kind of like I don't get like the views, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. When I get more views, comments, everything, I will be trying to edit, but I've said it before. Yeah, I understand why I don't have as many views and comments as I did before. I don't blame anybody but myself, I guess. No, but YouTube I blame. YouTube, I could be like near mint condition and gem mint collectibles right now. But YouTube does not like to favor the people who aren't monetized or aren't, you know, the big numbers, subscribers. I'm sure my cousin would have a very nice explanation for it that would make sense, but I'm not as tech savvy as he is. He's 5 years younger than I am. I already feel old. No, I've never ever felt old. Like people have, I've like looked at movies that are like, oh yeah, this movie came out 10 years ago. I remember seeing that in the theater like it was yesterday. Even then, I don't feel old. All right, let's get going because I know I'm getting interrupted because everyone's going to bed soon. All right, Doctor Strange, The Triumph and Torment. It was good. I was when I saw the name Roger Stern, I was like, is this gonna be more like his Avengers run or more like the Spider-Man issues I read before, which was a long time ago, and it was more like the Spider-Man issues that I remember reading, because it was dated, but it wasn't too dated, and a lot of it had a very very slow start, but like right near the middle and then especially at the end, it was fast paced. It was exactly what you wanted. And it was an '80s comic. I had to keep reminding myself this came out in the '80s, and it felt like it was like '90s or 2000 or early 2000s. I'm not gonna go. He was stuttering and like pick up and shit. I'm not about to act like it was like late 2010s, or actually technically that'd be bad. But I'm not gonna act like it's like the golden age that we had like in the 2000s, where every comic was good. Even '90s, I've heard like what is the best? I mean like the modern age where I got some over here about to fall. I mean like the modern age where like everyone was getting the comics, like Walking Dead was out, and Saga, and this and that, and like you almost like it was like the, you know, Image shit. I don't know. Sorry, to the fall. So yeah, I did like that one. The backup stories were okay. There were some very forgettable ones. There was a Roger Stern one that I did like, but it was a bit too damn long. It felt like it was very long. There was the Kazar or one of those guys, but it wasn't a Kazar book. It was a backup story. That one was very forgettable. I can't remember the other ones. There's like 3 of them. Oh, the Marvel fanfare ones were really good. I like those two. They're both written by Doug Mensch, which I have a huge Batman Doug Mensch book. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that he brings that same amount of effort that he did for Marvel fanfare into that Batman Contagion book I have. Was it Doug Mensch? I don't know. I thought it was Chuck Dixon, because that's a good reason. I think Amazon says it's like, oh nice, Chuck Dixon, and it was Doug Mensch. The sequel series is by Chuck Dixon. Yeah, I hear the dog's going out, so not to not speed it up, but I just like I like to do it all in one cut. and kind of have 5 books to read. Well, 4, because I read Tmnt already. One of them, anyways. And it was short stories, and it was, like, very quick. The 2 Guardians of the Galaxy books, I'm just going to do them all at once, because I feel the same way. It's not like another one had, like, a really bad part in it. No, they're both the same. I both like them. I like the Brian Michael Bendis series. Like, sue me, those fans of Deanna Abnett's Guardians run. I like Bendis' run. It gives me everything I want in a Guardians book. It's different enough from the movies. Like, Peter Quill does not have a Walkman. He's not with Gamora in the comics. He's actually with an X-Men character that has been introduced. Well, actually, none of them have been introduced in the MCU yet, so never mind. But, actually, she's barely in the X-Men movies as a whole. Was she? Was she actually even the... No, she was, right? Was she? No, because wasn't she played by, Juno? I think she was. Or am I thinking Rogue? No, Rogue wouldn't have been that. Because they would have... Because Rogue has an accent. I think they would have kept that in the movies. I don't know. That's how much I remember about Kitty Pryde. In the X-Men movies, is that... I can't remember who she was played by. It's always been a while since I've seen the X-Men movies. I want to get back on those movies. But anyways, it's different enough from the movies, but it's also very, very similar to the movies too. Like, all the mannerisms and characteristics of the Guardians are like the movie parts, like movie counterparts. But they're not like carbon copies either. You know, they're different enough, so you can't say, "Oh, they just like the movies. Why bother reading the comics? I'll just watch the movies." Like, that's how I feel about Star Wars instead of the comics. Why not just watch the movies? That's what's gonna pick up. Damn it! It was the Star Wars Jason Aaron. Whatever. What else? I think that was about it. I also like the end of his run. I liked how it ended, but I kind of had to remind myself that we're never gonna get a definitive end to these Marvel characters because there's gonna be another series coming up within the next year, or not even the next year. Hell, maybe the next month. So it was the same year. So I think it ended in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. So yeah, both those I liked. TMNT was as good as ever. They did skip the issues, but the best part about that is, except for like a few minor details, you couldn't really tell a difference. The only major difference was that you were in a different spot than you were when the series was going in order. So you're like, where the hell did everybody go? Why are they here now? But I chalked that up more as it was a 5 years later gap, and that kind of actually made the book a little bit better because I thought they had filled in the gap. They never do, and that's kind of the thing I didn't like about it. I would like a more definitive TMNT Ultimate Collection book. The IDW one, I think, is just the IDW series. This one is the Mirage Studio one, so what I got is it's a black and white originals. Solo. I'm glad I got that as a library book because half the book, I don't even say half, but the books that were it's an anthology series. And the issues that were good, the Darwin Cook one was especially good. Most of them were good. None of them were super boring except for the last two. The Sergio, the Mad Magazine guy, I have no idea how to say his last name. But his was just really boring. He is a much better artist than he is a writer. His art is so damn good. It's cartoony, but it's like that, like nostalgic cartoony way. Like it's really like Sunday strips, like the comic strips in the newspaper. That's what it's like. And I say not nostalgic. I haven't read a lot of newspaper strips, so it feels nostalgic, even if you haven't like read a whole bunch of newspaper strips. You know. It's very hard to explain. Just look at some of his artwork, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. But yes, this is books that you wrote was just really boring. Some of them were good. I like this story with him with the actress name I forget about. That was a nice little story. I had a pretty dark twist that was kind of depressing, but like there's a bit of dark comedy in there to lighten the load, lighten the drama. But yeah, the other ones, in the last one, the artwork was so damn good. It was trippy, it was like dreamlike, and that's what the artist was trying to get across. And the stories were pretty good. The Batman one I liked in the last one, actually. I will give him that. The story behind it was like very sad, but it kind of like it was very interesting too, and it had like kind of like a happy ending, if you will. I don't want to give it away, but when you read it, you'll understand what I mean. I do recommend you pick it up, but don't spend $50 on it. Although, actually, no, spend $50 on it because it's worth $100. So if you don't like it, you get twice your money back if you can sell it. Maybe look for the single issues. The single issues are $2 each. Do that. You can get them all for $24. That's less than the cover price of the hardcover. And the deluxe edition comes with nothing new. I could tell at least. Superman Birthright. Much better than I remember it being. I have almost never, and that's why I've reread books like Fables and shit, is because I believe in giving books a second chance. And Superman Birthright and a bunch of other books is why I do that, because I know that maybe the first time I just was not into it, I wasn't like feeling it or whatever. I don't even know. I don't know why. Because Superman Birthright gives you everything you could ever want in a Superman origin retelling. It gives you everything. But yeah, it was much better than I thought it was. Much better than I remember it being. Oh yeah, Batgirl was the other one, the new 52 run, and Nightwing New 52. And both those are among my favorite New 52 series now. I cannot say New 52 for whatever reason, and I think because it rhymes. Okay, like two Captain America ones by Rick Remender. I like that series. I do. I have not read the all-new Captain America series yet. But I like the Rick Remender series. And then one book I forgot to talk about last time was Scalped. I am so pissed off that they don't have the 5th and final book in the series, or the 9th and 10th volumes, because Scalped is so damn good. it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, we're doing this story now? Oh, okay. And it's where it ends, so I'm not, like, going out of my mind, like, I've got to read this right now. No, I'm not like that at all. But I still would like to read it. So, it's still a bit nice. Batgirl and the Batgirl Birds of Prey. I liked Birds of Prey a lot better, but even Birds of Prey was not perfect. They both have some they both have some politics in there. There's like, oh, the Birds of Prey one. That's what I wanted to mention. I'm so glad I finally remembered it. Not finally remembered it. I remembered it. They have a storyline where this contagion is killing all the men. All the men are getting sick, and I'm like, you are not gonna go for that story. You're not gonna do that. And they actually have a very nice little twist. I was really surprised. I was like, wow, actual intelligence in a book like this? Damn, that's pretty surprising. But it also has a lot of, like, females are the best, and, like, girl power, like, all that shit that even women don't want to see in comics anymore at all. Like, and the series got canceled, too, and it was the final volume, too, that I read. So it was right before it got canceled, and, yeah, you wonder why. I mean, everyone got turned off by all the girl power in that series. But it was much better than the original Batgirl series, the solo series. The Hope Larson series was not as bad as other people will say it is, but it's not as good as Gail Simone's run. And that should say something, because nobody seems to like Gail Simone's run. And I understand why. But if that's coming from someone who likes Gail Simone's run, then Batgirl Rebirth is probably going to be terrible to someone who doesn't like Gail Simone's run. Yeah, both of them are just kind of lackluster. I'm glad I finally decided to read them, but I'm also glad that they didn't have any of the series after that. Which I kind of want to see how the Margaret Bennett run was. I actually heard some of those issues were pretty damn good. Maybe I'll pick up those Orphans issues. News of the World, that was the movie. I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty good. I was surprised because I was expecting it to be very, very slow. Because that's what everyone was saying. It was like, oh, it's so slow paced, but you'll like it because it's an Oscar bait movie. And it kind of was. It's not a movie that is going to be very groundbreaking. The story has been done before, done to death, but the acting and everything else make up for it. And I would say to buy the DVD, because the DVD has, you don't have to buy the Blu-ray. But watch the deleted scenes. There's some that I'm so pissed off were not in the original movie. I was like, that would have been the movie so much better if you include those scenes. They weren't crucial. It was just a little bit more of character bonding between between Tom Hanks and the girl that he has to protect. And I'm glad they didn't go too far with that, because I hate those movies that are super dark with the because it's a little girl too, with what the little girl had to go through, and they don't really mention much of it, which is good. But they mention enough to where you're like, okay, we want to get her away from these bad guys, and you want to see them win, and you want to see the good guys win in the end, and the bad guys lose, which they do. Spoilers, yeah, it's a very predictable movie, so. But I liked it. Spawn, the Compendium, the one it took me a month to read. I am gonna take a 5-year-long break from Spawn. That was a pain in the ass. It wasn't a total pain in the ass to read. There were some very good issues. The Christmas one has to be one of my favorite comics of the 90s. Hands down. I said one of. It was so damn sweet. It was Todd McFarlane, can you write like this more often? My main complaint with Spawn, so much dialogue. There was literally, here, can I have an example? Okay, so imagine a book. You know how a book has a wall of text because there's no pictures? That was some of the pages in Spawn. If you put it into a book, there would be no difference. It was almost like they didn't need to have pictures. They just had a wall of text and no picture. That's how annoying it was. That's not only complaint, but the wall of text was almost every issue. They had the news coverage parts, which are almost every issue, and there was a wall of text. But my only complaint, the art is so damn spectacular. The guest writer issues were so damn good, especially Grant Morrison's issues. Everything else was good. Everything, when it wasn't as dialogue heavy, I really enjoyed it. And I was exaggerating when I said I took a 5-year hiatus from Spawn. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till they have Compendium 2 at my on Angel loan, so I can get it from them. That's gonna be about a year at the least until I get Compendium 2, as it hasn't even come out yet. And with the paper shortages, it might get delayed. It's a pretty thick book too, so it's very possible it'll get delayed. I'm still pissed off. I'm still pissed off. Man of Steel Volume 4 got delayed for the John Byrne hardcover ones, which you see me talk about in my Batman Tales of the Demon review. I actually did put a link in that last video, or one of the last videos. Probably was the last video, honestly. Spider-Man Clone Saga Book 3. I actually like it. I actually do. I'll bet it's the I'll bet what it was is that it hasn't gotten too convoluted yet. We haven't gotten to like a bunch of clone story yet. No, we didn't get to that yet. It started to get a little bit convoluted, but I like all the characters. I like Kane. I want to see more of Kane. I want to see more Scarlet Spider. So I'd say it's pretty good. Journey into Mystery was a good one. The 2 backup stories were completely unnecessary. If they had taken both of those out of the book, I would not have been any. I wouldn't have cared. I've been like, good. Because those 2 backup stories were pretty bad. The Thor annual by J.M. DeMatteis was just way too long. It did not need to be an annual. And if it was an annual, it should have been 25 pages in a backup story that wasn't included in the book. Because it would have been a lot. It would have made it go by a lot quicker. It took me an hour and a half to read that, and not even a Silver Age book took me that long. To be fair, it was 45 pages. All right, so Captain Marvel. Ugh. If you think Batgirl was bad with the girl power parts, then Captain Marvel is 10 times worse. I am waiting for that part of Captain Marvel series, to where it gets to where everyone else is boasting about how good it is. Because I remember liking her 2014 series. And I kind of wanted to play catch up and read the 2012 series. I don't know. Hopefully it gets better. Alright, so let's go through them again and do the out of 10 score. I can't do out of 5. Out of 5 was like way too. It's like if you 3 out of 5, it's like, oh, you didn't like it. No, I did. Or did you? You know. And then 4 out of 5 was like, oh, you really enjoyed it. It's like, no, I had a few problems with it. Out of 10 score is a lot better. Doctor Strange, I give like an 8 out of 10. Guardians, I give like an 8 out of 10. Tmnt, I give like a 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Solo, I give like a 7 out of 10. Superman, I give like a 9 out of 10. Cap, I give like an 8.5. Batgirl, both Batgirl books. Batgirl Solo, I give like a 5 out of 10. And then Batgirl Birds of Prey, I give like a 6 out of 10. News of the World, I give like a 7. Spawn, I give like a 7. Spider-Man, I give like a 7.5. Journey into Mystery, I give like a 9 out of 10. And Captain Marvel, I'll give like a 4.5 out of 10. Hopefully that 2014 series is a lot better. That's it.